Welcome and good day. Thank you for joining us from wherever in the world you are. I'm Steve Farnsworth with cPacket Networks. I'll be your host for today's webinar, Successfully Monitoring 100 Gig Networks. In a minute, we're going to discuss how network monitoring must evolve to flawlessly deliver network visibility to security and performance tools. This is the only way to assure safe and positive end-user experiences. We'll cover the network visibilities required to support hybrid enterprises and digital transformation. Also, the importance of hardware-accelerated network packet processing at 100 gig rates. First, I want to mention that we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the presentation for an Apple Watch Series 3. You must be present to win, and exclusions apply. Also, during our presentation, there's a question box. We encourage you to ask your questions, which we'll get to at the very end of the presentation, and we'll answer as many as we can. And happy to follow up on questions we don't get to after the presentation. With that, let's get started. Oh, I do want to mention, we do have some great attachments. So if you check out the attachment area, I would encourage you to do that. So with that, let's get started. I'm honored to have my colleague, Mohammed Hasib, with me today. Hasib is the Director of Product Management at cPacket Networks. He's been in project management in the industry with leaders like Cisco, HP, Juniper Networks. With that, Hasib, please take it away.
Thank you, Steve. And guys, good morning, everybody, for joining the webinar. So like Steve said, my name is Hasib, and I'm the Director of Product Management here at cPacket Networks. So this is our brief agenda today. 100 gig obviously is top of mind for almost everyone. So we're going to start with some market perspective, spend some time there. Really understanding why 100 gig, and more importantly, what is driving 100 gig adoption. And then dive a bit deeper into what cPacket products and solutions deliver in terms of 100 gig packet capture, monitoring, packet brokering. Also plan to share some reference topologies towards the end. So like I said, let's spend some time here just very briefly. As we all know, digital transformation is critical for all businesses, from the small enterprise to the large. Now, most enterprise IT leaders, they know that digital transformation is critical for their business to remain competitive and relevant. In simple terms, digital transformation is all about how to make IT more agile. And at the heart of it is obviously how to deliver differentiated applications and services and best end user experiences to the customers, while at the same time, have an infrastructure in place that can help drive this innovation at scale. And really, data centers are at the center of all this, because this is where applications and services are being hosted. And technologies like 5G, IoT, including server virtualization and on-premises private clouds, are really driving this massive demand on the infrastructure. Hence the need for 100 gig data center fabrics. So from that perspective, a lot of CapEx is being allocated to support growth in data centers. New facilities are being built out to increase scale. And existing server and network infrastructure is being upgraded to support increase in bandwidth and user connectivity needs. We all know that. And so server access is moving from 1/10 gig to 25/50 gig. 50 gig kind of more prevalent in the service provider and internet content provider space, but still relevant in the data center as well. And legacy, 10/40 gig spine leaf fabrics are now being migrated towards 100 gig and upwards, including inter-data center 100 gig connectivity as well, which is very common these days as well. So apart from digital transformation, other things like server virtualization, data center consolidation, and more importantly, application architectures are also driving growth within the data center. The data on the right side was shared some time ago by Facebook, but it's very relevant today as well for most enterprise application architectures. A large majority of data within the modern data center is east-west, the server-to-server traffic, versus north-south. So this changing application dependency is also creating a massive demand to upgrade the data center spine leaf networks to 100 gig as well. Additionally, I did actually included some more data, market data. As you can see, this is primarily from Dell'Oro, the first half 2020 Ethernet controller and adapter revenue numbers suggest that 25/50 and 100 gig controller revenue accounted for almost 50% of second quarter this year volumes. And in line with expectations, the 10 gig Ethernet controller revenue continued to decline. In comparison, in the same study, the data center Ethernet switching forecast really accounted for over 15 million 100 gig ports that were shipped in just alone in 2019. This will give you the kind of extent to which the data center migrations are happening towards 100 gig. So from the data center perspective, this legacy architecture, the spine leaf, spine core, and edge, it is really now being migrated towards more flatter, spine leaf networks. So from that perspective, the 1/10 gig server access, which was very common a decade ago, and primarily 10/40 gig distribution along with edge, is now being migrated towards 100 gig feeds and speeds. And with high density and high performance compute, to support modern applications and east-west traffic, most servers have started migrating towards 25 and 50 gigabit Ethernet, like I said before. And likewise, the server access is being upgraded towards high density top of rack, 100 gig switches, merchant silicon, and including, 100 gigabit Ethernet in the spine and edge as well. And obviously, ultimately moving towards higher feeds and speeds. So while data center is being upgraded to 100 gig feeds and speeds, what does it mean for IT operations? Obviously, network operations is in the middle of this transformation, and for them, keeping a similar level of network visibility for performance management, service availability, and end user experience is paramount, obviously. So for network operations and also for security operations, to some extent, having reliable access to packet data is always critical. A network at 100 gigabits per second, would be operating at 10 times the speed of, the 10 gigabits per second infrastructure. So having access to data at wire speed without dropping packets and creating blind spots is critical, not just for performance management, but also for security delivery. Additionally, while data center is being upgraded towards 100 gig feeds and speeds, your IT tools might not be operating at 100 gigs. So how do you continue to work with your existing tools and possibly extend their life as well? And last but not the least, security operations also consistently rely on rich packet and flow data for investigations, forensics, and for compliance purposes. So, cPacket, very briefly here, delivers a comprehensive solution to monitor modern 100 gig data center infrastructure, including hybrid environments. As you can see here, we have the intelligent packet data aggregation solution in the form of our CPU products. And we also have, the next generation packet brokers really aggregating hundreds of 100 gig links, and to be able to intelligently steer, filter, and replicate traffic at line rate to various tools, including smart packet brokers. Now, these packet brokers deliver lossless 100 gig performance and can deliver exactly the data needed by your tools in the right format and at the right feeds and speeds without creating blind spots. In addition to that, our solution allows you to capture, index, and analyze packets at speeds up to 40 gigabits per second and 100 gigabits per second burst capture capability. This is particularly important when it comes to data analysis during network and application performance management, security investigations in the event of a breach, or just archiving for future forensics or compliance purposes. Now, finally, network application and performance management is delivered via single pane of glass analytics dashboard, as you can see on the far left side, which is fully customizable via user-defined workflows and integrated with our monitoring fabric completely. This is a quick overview of our visibility stack. I'll just very briefly spend some time on this. As you can see on the very bottom, we have a very comprehensive list. And starting with our cTap series, which is our 100 gig data access taps. Additionally, on the top left to the cTaps, we have the CView series, which is our packet aggregators and smart network packet brokers, providing cost-effective and intelligent steering of data to your tools in the right format and at the right feeds and speeds. On the top here, we have the C-Store, which is really our packet capture analysis and performance monitoring platform. It's a scalable solution and delivers a complete network and application performance management experience. Our C-Probe appliance on the top allows you to convert packet data to flow data in real time and at scale. Very critical for any monitoring and visibility fabric. On the very top, we have the C-Clear Analytics dashboard, which provide actionable intelligence in the form of visualizations and fully customizable dashboards with rich analytics for complete network and application performance visibility. Now, just drilling down a bit more into each of these products, won't spend too much time here, but obviously taps are the best way to access live data on the wire in any network. And they're typically deployed only once, as we know, and are highly recommended over technologies like SPAN, ERSPAN, etc. So our cTap solution provide full passive monitoring support along with, the wire rate access to data up to 100 gigabits per second. As you can see, we fully support all standard optical infrastructure and split ratio types. So overall, it's a very cost-effective solution that we have in the form of cTap devices, and like I said, foundation for any monitoring fabric for real-time access to data on the wire. Now, the role of network packet broker becomes even more critical in a 100 gig environment. Obviously, one reason is to make sure you have the right platform which can scale and provide tap access link aggregation. That's why I've shown here the CView 1000, which is our low-cost aggregation product. Then more importantly, be able to provide data with the right context, format, and speeds to the right tools, either for network operations or security operations or both. As you can see here, the network packet transmit receive rate will drastically increase from 67 nanoseconds node to node in a 10 gig network to almost 6.7 nanoseconds in a 100 gig network on average. So the packet broker has to be efficient as well to process packets at this rate and without dropping them. So drop packets, as you know, create blind spots in your network. So for that, our next generation packet broker solution is purpose-built with hardware design, which uses FPGAs at every port and eliminate packet drops and also give best price performance value. It is a fully distributed lossless packet broker versus the competition modular design with severely oversubscribed ports as additional port density is added, and alternately increases your solution price per port as you add processing capacity at the expense of port density. Our next generation packet broker here on this slide, it's a CView 16100, which is a 16 port 100 next generation packet broker with distributed FPGA based architecture. As compared to this, all features on our products are fully enabled at no additional cost to you. This keeps your TCO same and also increases your ROI over time. So this is our FPGA-based architecture on the right side. As you can see, on the left, typical solutions in the market, has a centralized processing design where, every packet needing processing is sent to a centralized processing card with limited resources. When it comes to additional performance, it comes at more cost to you and really compromises your port density in the chassis and ROI. Yet it still delivers oversubscribed performance, as you can see on the slide here. This is the case with primarily most of our customers. Well, not customer, competitors. There are also multiple choke points where packets can be dropped, thus creating blind spots. This is inherently because of the centralized nature of the architecture. Our next generation packet broker, with FPGA-based Smart ports deliver lossless processing of packets at wire rate up to 100 gigabits per second. Now, these smart ports have dedicated resources for advanced packet processing capability and provide full line rate processing of all of the network packet broker features, including advanced features, at no additional cost to you. No license is required, obviously. Uh, High resolution analytics is critical, especially at 100 gig feeds and speeds. Now each CVU next generation packet broker, with smart ports, it support both high resolution counters as well as microburst detection. This capability obviously is critical in many mission critical environments, including financial trading houses like high frequency trading. With high resolution counters, each smart port can provide counters up to 1 millisecond resolution versus standard 1 second resolution. Additionally, microburst detection can be enabled on each smart port as well, which allow you to monitor burst counters at a 1 millisecond resolution as well, and provide the needed threshold crossing alerts, for IT operations. Now, apart from packet processing, which we just discussed, and scale, one of the critical tasks a packet broker has to handle is getting the right data to the right tools, and at the same time, be efficient to help maximize the life of your tools. Our 100 gig packet brokers deliver exactly that using smart filters on every port for efficient and lossless processing and tagging of packets before handing them to your tools. Obviously, we support industry standard encapsulations like ERSPAN, VXLAN, and GRE termination. Uh, in addition to that, we have the capability to actually terminate VXLAN on any port versus the competition, which do this on only select ports. We can also truncate certain packets and pass certain packets untruncated on both ingress and egress ports using smart filters. Certain tools rely on packet tags, and with dynamic truncation, we can do exactly that by dynamically identifying the TCP header and all encapsulations to preserve and then truncate the rest of the packet. And last but not the least, we also support counters on every single port, which are always on. You can measure the actual usage and performance of your tools with it, and you can maximize the life of your tools by measuring your tool's capacity with this feature. Now, flow data is obviously very critical in any data center, but especially when it comes to 100 gigabits per second, it is even more critical. Now, the user and the number of connections and flows processed by any device, including your mission critical stateful firewalls, can reach millions. Now, the typical number one priority of your data fabric is to support obviously user traffic, and the sampling of the flow data can get deprioritized, or its sampling rate can just be lowered, hence compromising accuracy. Now, access to real-time flow data apart from raw packet data is critical for many network operations and also for security operations tools. cProbe, which we briefly touched, before, is a purpose-built appliance to scale in these kind of environments, especially in the 100 gig data center. It also sits out of band to your production network. You can feed data stream into cProbe to convert real-time packet data into standard NetFlow version 9, 10, and IPFix flow formats for flow collectors and also for various security tools. With the ability to generate over 1.2 million flows per minute with a peak capacity of 6 million flows per minute, cProbe is a very scalable solution for any 100 gig data center fabric. So it also comes down to detailed network performance analysis, which is critical for both application service assurance, maintaining great end user experiences, but also for security audit, forensics, and also for compliance needs. Now, C-Store solution is a tightly integrated set of products, which works very cohesively with our visibility fabric, including management and packet brokers. It provides packet capture and storage capability up to 100 gigabits per second burst, along with detailed analysis of captured packets. With features like flow indexing and parallel fast queuing, the analysis is not throttled by search capabilities. You can also deploy this solution at various places in your network for complete network performance analysis of critical segments and traffic flows. The unique measurable KPIs allow you to quickly root cause network issues while they are happening, but also allow you to baseline your network for trending purposes, which is also critical not just for capacity planning, by the way, but also for security, anomaly detection, and incident response investigations. Now, security NDR solutions also rely on this data. The system is upgradable via external storage appliance up to 1.7 petabytes. Additionally, C-Store is fully integrated with C-Clear Analytics dashboard, as you can see on the very top. In fact, it can ingest metadata feeds from multiple C-stores, and which allow you to kind of consolidate your visibility from across your data center, including the branches and the cloud. So this will give you a bit more idea in terms of what we offer in terms of our single pane of glass. I touched base on this very briefly in the last slide. So it's primarily our single pane of glass analytics dashboard. It is available in both physical and virtual appliances and allow you to really centralize your network and application performance monitoring, across your hybrid enterprise, branch, data center, and cloud. It is fully integrated with our monitoring tools like packet brokers, we discussed, flow generators, packet capture solution, and really delivers an enterprise-grade business analytics dashboard with detailed network KPIs along with user customizable dashboards for data correlation, reporting, features like baselining, dependency mapping, and automated alerts based on thresholds and events that you can configure. It also has a fully functional northbound RESTful API interface, which allow you to export data to external tools. Now, this is a bit busy slide, but I will give you a good view of how network performance issues impact your core business application and services, and ultimately to end users. You can see some of the issues and problems that you deal with day to day. They can be monitored, observed, detected, and even proactively remediated with high quality and high performance monitoring KPIs in the middle, which are directly available via C-Clear in a single pane of glass. Visibility into issues are rolled up from the bottom three rows, via efficient monitoring and data capture, impact your success at assuring application performance and end user experiences, and also increases your organization's security posture. All right, so I think in terms of your monitoring needs, let's now look at a typical reference architecture. On the left side, on the very top, we have the high density enterprise core, where you can imagine hundreds of 100 gig links. We have a customer who actually aggregates over 750 100 gig interfaces at this layer. This is where we advise to initially aggregate into a low cost, a CVU 1000 platform, depending on the performance and visibility requirements. This layer provides up to 32 ports of 100 gig low cost aggregation capability. Traffic at this point can either be directly fed into the tools. Obviously, 32 port 100 gig solution does support 10 gig and 100 gig feeds and speeds, or it can selectively feed into the distribution layer for advanced packet processing, if the number of monitored 100 gig links are large, and then to the tools layer. It's a two-stage or a two-tier fabric. This allows more efficient usage of your tools and also, extend the life of your tools. For most enterprise customers, and data centers, this is the case based on our experience. A smart distribution layer is always recommended. Alternately, we can also have a low-cost, low-latency solution for aggregation as well, which delivers the same density as 32 port for 100 gig. Now, on the far right side, I've represented the low-latency line rate monitoring use case, where both high-resolution counters and C-burst capability is needed, primarily closer to the source. Traffic at this layer can be fed directly into a next-generation packet broker. I showed you the 16100, which is our FPGA-based next generation packet broker. It does provide high resolution counters and CBurst capability on every port. And obviously, you can get analytics and visibility directly at this layer via clear single pane of glass. So, expanding from the previous slide a bit more, this is a typical two-tier fabric, which most of our customers have. Here we have the CVU 1000, which acts as a low-cost aggregation solution, primarily giving you better, price port economics. And this is a solution for a larger, flatter 100 gig network. You can feed the traffic needed for analysis directly into the tools or via distribution layer with, smart packet brokering capability. This is a two-tier. And then obviously, all devices are multi-rate and they do support 10 gig and 40 gig feeds and speeds. So you can do kind of, speed downgrade at this layer as well. And primarily, connectivity into your tools. Now, obviously, I think there's always an option to, tap your aggregated traffic directly into your packet broker as well. But obviously, that consumes one expensive port on the distribution. That's why there is this low-cost aggregation layer. And then this is a variant of the previous two-tier design. I'm just showing here the CVU 1000E versus the CVU 1000. So the 1000E provides a same port economics, but in addition to that, it does also deliver high resolution counters and CBurst capability, but at a much lesser resolution versus what you can actually get on a next generation packet broker with distributed hardware that we have. The rest of the topology is pretty much the same. And then single tier design primarily. I mean, if you look at on the left side here, I'm showing CVU 16100 at the aggregation layer. This is primarily to kind of provide high resolution visibility closer to the source. Like I said, that's where we recommend our next generation packet brokers. You can collect high resolution 1 millisecond resolution analytics here and feed them directly into your tools like clear. Additionally, obviously, you can always put a second layer, distribution layer on the top to further fan out traffic to additional tools as needed. And finally, this is a three-tier fabric, and this is primarily recommended or have seen in very large environments where the number of tools are very large with different feeds and speeds. As you can see, the CVU 1000 still acts as a low-cost traffic aggregator, followed by the distribution layer, which is the smart layer, efficiently processing packets, based on our, hardware-assisted CVU next generation, which is our smart packet brokers. And the third layer really allows you to kind of cost-effectively distribute traffic to the large number of tools, and that's where I've seen the CVU 1000 at this layer, which can scale horizontally very economically. So, with that, just to sum it up, our 100 gig solution delivers the right price, performance, innovation, scale, and differentiation in the industry. And we have the knowledge and experience to deploy large enterprise-grade monitoring fabrics. Additionally, our solution allow you to monitor 100 gig data center fabrics via single pane of glass, consolidate your tools, and allow you to extend the life of your tools. We have a complete lineup of virtualized monitoring tools as well under our cCloud brand, which allow you to build a visibility fabric in the cloud and also, in virtualized on-premises environments as well. So feel free to, visit our website for more details around our cCloud product line as well. And finally, we did touch base on a lot of these things, but really in terms of, differentiation and especially what adds value, business value to IT operations, you really need to have a solution that delivers, no blind spots, capture packets at 100 gig feeds and speeds in a hybrid environment, and really delivers a single pane of glass management, and visibility solution, and while delivering on your TCO and ROI expectations. With that, I would like to pass it back to Steve.
Thank you, Asib. I really appreciate that. I want to encourage everybody watching to take a moment and use your question box to enter any questions. We're going to get to the Q&A here just in a second. Also, again, I'd like to remind you about the attachment section. There are a few things you might want to check out there. And there's also an opportunity if you'd like to have a customized demo specifically around your configuration issues with or considerations and requirements for monitoring, we can arrange that too. For our prize today giveaway, it's going to be an Apple Watch 3. You must be present to win. And there are a few exclusions that apply. You must be have a valid work email when you registered, be able to accept a gift of approximately $200. You can't be a cPacket employee, contractor, partner, reseller, or family member of any of the above. And you can't be a competitor. We've selected the winner from those present right now, and the winner will be notified in the next 24 hours via email that they used to register. With that, let's get started with our Q&A. Let's see here. Okay, Asib, what is the highest 100G port density solution you have, and how many rack spaces is that?
Well, I showed in the slide, so we have the 32 port 100 gig is our highest density 100 gig solution. It is a one RU solution, and most of our next generation appliances at 10 gig and 40 gig, they are 1 RU, including the 100 gig platforms, which are 2 RUs. And the hardware assisted 100 gig solutions, the maximum port density is 16 ports.
Right. Here's the next one. Do the high resolution features and analytics come at any additional cost?
They do not. The high resolution feature is always on our next generation packet brokers. You can also turn on additionally cBurst, which is our high resolution burst feature on a per port basis without any license. So there is no license associated with any of our features. It's all inclusive in the product price.
Yeah, perfect. Next one is, does your packet capture analysis appliance support data encryption?
Yes, it does. We do have a lot of different products in our C-Store family. Please feel free to visit our website and look at the data sheet. But we do support, products which support encryption at rest. Yeah.
Great. And we have another question here. And I think this will be our last one here. The cClear analytics solution is available as a virtual appliance or hardware.
It's available in both form factors. We have a hardware appliance along with it's also available as a virtual appliance supported on industry standard hypervisors like E6i, Hyper-V, and including in the Docker format as well.
We actually have a follow-up question that I would like to get to if we can. What kind of data encryption?
Well, I think that we do support our standard encryption schemes. So for more details, I mean, definitely take a look at the data sheets. But we do support encryption for data at rest in our C-Store appliances.
Fantastic. And with that, we come to our close. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Asib, for your knowledge, and thank you for all of you attending today for sharing your very valuable time with us. We hope you take away some things you can use, and we look forward to talking with you next time. Take care.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you all. Bye.